Hi. So I've been doing some cooking today in the midst of all this coronavirus thing, and if you know me, you know that I like to cook a lot, and I figured as long as I'm quarantined and stuck in this shelter in place, that I might as well not just cook, but also show people how to cook and how they can actually make really good food, even in the midst of this pandemic. I'm actually coming at you from Corona, which is weirdly morbid and ironic, like a cross between like a Greek tragedy and a O. Henry story. The thing I've been making today, though, is one of my favorite dishes. It's called pozole verde. It's a Mexican hangover soup. And one of the things I believe about cooking is that it doesn't need to be exact. It's certainly not a science. It operates like most of life, though not science in this respect, in a predominantly gray area. And I think a lot of people get overwhelmed by cooking because they need all these exact measurements and recipes, and especially in a virus where we have a shortage of, certain things are sold out at grocery stores and whatnot, that can get very challenging. And some of the recipes that I'm going to be cooking, if I do this more than just this once on camera, which remains to be seen because I don't like how I sound on camera. But if I do this again, I think part of what I'm going to be showing is how a lot of these different ingredients can really be swapped out for other things. So I'll probably have a written thing that I'll provide with this, also how to make all this. But basically, for like this, soup or whatever, you really only need some kind of meat, hominy, and tomatillos. The rest you could swap out with a lot of different things. Those are the only things that are hard and fast. You need that, no substitutions. Basically, what I did is I browned some pork shoulder, and with a Mexican spice rub, I then roasted some vegetables and sautéed some, including onion, garlic, pasillas, poblano peppers, some tomatillos, pureed them, used that as a base with some chicken stock and then on with a few other seasonings like Mexican oregano, and just had this cook all day. It's been cooking since around 11 in the morning, and it's it's after 9 now, though it doesn't have to cook that long. I just kept it on longer. And the neat thing about this soup is that for those of you who haven't had it, it's kind of like a Mexican version of pho, where you have this amazing broth with meat, and then all these fresh toppings that I have laid out here. You have onion and radish and jalapeno, avocado, some cabbage, as well as you can put some sour cream and some hot sauce and some homemade tomatillo salsa, which later this week I might show you how to make homemade chips and salsa. It's something that's very easy to make, but it doesn't matter how elaborate of the dinner it is that I'm making. If I make homemade chips, it'll easily be the most popular thing. People are like, oh my god, Jonah, this is so amazing how you did the chips homemade. It's like a 3-ingredient thing that takes 5 minutes. So actually, that'd be very much a thing I should do this week. But yeah, so I'm going to just dish up a bowl of this and show you what it looks like. And if you're interested in making this yourself, let me know, and you can call me or Google Hangout, and I can talk you through it. We have an abundance of free time because of this virus, and I'm stuck in California, and I'm bored. And so, yeah. Let me just dish up a bowl of this. Let's see. So yeah, so you see that's the hominy, which is that sort of Mexican dried corn, adds sort of starchy element. You have oregano, all kinds of seasonings, some green chilies, and then you have this pork. There we go. Some more broth. So just like that, and then you put on all these fresh toppings. And I, for the record, washed my hands before this. So put some onion. Put a little bit of radish, very underrated condiment in Mexican cooking. Some jalapeno. Some cotija cheese, which is kind of like a Mexican feta, I guess, though that seems like it's a service to it. But that's the closest thing I can compare it to. We'll put in a bit of cabbage as well. And add some avocado. Great. And then we're going to add just a little bit of, unfortunately they didn't have any Mexican crema, they just had sour cream, which, so, you know, but as my Uncle Rex used to say, you use the armadillo that you have, not the armadillo that you want. I don't have it, Uncle Rex, I don't know why I said that. So, let's see, it is sour cream, and finally, some of that homemade salsa, which is also very easy to make. I really should actually do a episode where I do homemade salsa, chips, and guacamole, because that's always been popular when I make it. And probably in general, I think those are just popular things. And a bit of hot sauce, maybe a bit of tortilla chips crumbled on it, if I have any. There we go. All right, and this is Pozole Verde. It's very good. It's amazing for hangovers, if that's something, a state that you find yourself in. I'm Italian, Mexican, Irish, so I have an annoying liquor tolerance, so I actually don't find myself in that state. But I surround myself with people who do. So, you know, it's come in handy many times in the past. But yeah, it's really... here, I'm actually going to try some, because I guess usually on these cooking shows, you have to find, like, some very conventionally attractive friends to feed all this food to. Like, it's never the chef, right? It's always, like, the friends or whatever who they feed it to who always, like, look randomly really good, which, you know, I guess is what attractive people do. They surround themselves with people who know how to cook. But I don't really have that here because I'm in quarantine, so we are going to just do this. Let's see. All right. See, I'm very hesitant to eat hot food, like, when it's really hot. Like, I once burnt my mouth in April of 2014 eating a grilled cheese sandwich. And I've often wondered if I've lost the ability to taste as fully since then. You know, I feel like it's like I'm missing a part of myself I used to have. I don't know. I've always wondered that. Maybe I didn't lose anything. Who's to say? All right. This is, the culinary term would be really fucking good. So yeah, if you want to know how to make this, message me. I'll talk you through it as you make it, letting you know all the ingredients you need to buy. I'll probably post a written version of this recipe if you'd like to know this without how to make this without having to talk to me, because I understand the appeal. And yeah, I think that we'll probably make, like, pasta puttanesca, I think will be the next recipe I make, because those are all a bunch of ingredients that are pretty accessible, even in the midst of this pandemic, and that store pretty easily, and is also really good. So, yeah, I'm gonna go eat this in isolation, and you have a good rest of your night. Thanks for watching.